Who here remembers Alvin and the Chipmunks? I haven't seen it in years, but I remember it was like a good version of the Smurfs movie. To put it briefly, they took the success of the movie and made a terrible show out of it. And that's what we'll be looking at. Good. So the episode starts with, oh yeah, the Chipmunks sing. I want to get this out of the way as quickly as possible. So basically in every episode the Chipmunks sing a song that admittedly could sound more terrible, but they're still terrible and stupid. Anyway, the episode starts with, what the heck is that? Look at that hair, it's disgusting! See, the thing that was funny / cute about the Chipmunks wearing shirts is like 90% of people are embarrassed about going around without any clothes, so we wear shirts, pants, etc. That's just how our thought process works. So basically the joke with the Chipmunks is that they're saying that the Chipmunks are supposed to have the same thought process as people, which they don't, obviously. But growing hair isn't part of the thought process of people, it just happens. And because we've gotten used to human hair, if you put that on chipmunks, it just looks disgusting. The other difference with shirts is that we put clothes on animals all the time. We don't grow hair on them. Ugh. I can't believe I just talked for like 30 seconds about human hair on hamsters. Ugh. Anyway, the episode starts with the 3 chipmunks arguing over dirty socks. Riveting.
It's between you 3. This is the 3rd time this week.
Wait, only 3 times a week? That's nothing. I have only 1 brother and we argue like every day. And Alvin has 2 siblings. Anyway, Alvin proposes to Dave that if he gets his own room, Dave will never have to deal with them fighting again. Which makes no sense be,cause that would mean they would have to stay in their rooms for the rest of their lives in order to avoid arguing somewhere else. However, in order to get his room, he must be mature for like a week or something. This includes yelling at his brother while playing Wii tennis, when he could just as easily do his homework somewhere else, vacuuming and washing dishes when everyone else knows full well once he gets his room, he'll stop acting mature immediately. And he still gets his room!
I'm sorry, Alvin. It's the only spare room in the house, so maybe you should just go back to your room and...
Are you kidding, Dave? I love it!
And Alvin was never seen again. Anyway, the 3 chipmunks proved my point by getting to school and acting all angry at each other. Ooh. When really, if anything, they should be gloating or something. They have no real reason to be angry. And it was at this school scene that I noticed the show's biggest problem. Aside from their hair, obviously. Ugh. This has nothing to do with the actual movie. I mean, yeah, the chipmunks are here and everything, but they're not treated like chipmunks. Just imagine the rest of this episode with the chipmunks replaced with people. Yeah. I mean, in one episode, Alvin flat out asks out a girl to a Valentine's Day dance. Oh, also, these are the other chipmunks. These are basically the same thing as Alvin and his brothers, but they're female stereotypes now. Yay. Oh, spoilers, they're not relevant at all. Anyway, Alvin gets lonely, like, immediately, and so do his brothers, with, like, no real pacing or character development. As in, Alvin's in his room for, like, less than a day before the cheesiest loner, I guess, sequence begins. Also, why does he have these creepily accurate dolls of his brothers? Ugh. In fact, the majority of this show is terrible pacing. Remember when Alvin had to act mature to get his room? Ugh, they say mature so much in this episode. This feels like an episode of Word Girl.
Mature. Mature?
Mature?
Mature. Mature.
Mature.
Mature.
Oh yes, I remember that show. Well, he gets in like 2 days. So obviously, Alvin finds a way to get himself moved back into his old room and everything's all happy and jolly again. And where did our lovable chipmunks change or develop? Nowhere. Nothing has changed at all. A problem was created and then solved 15 minutes later into the episode.
Sure. No problem.
But the difference between this and other well-put-together shows is that at the end of an episode of a well-put-together show, a bad guy is either put in jail or maybe a character knows how to solve a problem now. Even the female chipmunks complain that nothing has changed, while they creepily watch them argue again through their window during the night, I might add. So what life lessons have we learned? If life sucks, there's really nothing you can do about changing anything. Yeah. So that was Alvin and the Chipmunks Kids cartoon. And yeah, it's pretty bad. It's kind of difficult to look at a kid's cartoon like this, but there are some really good kid show that I enjoy watching even today. Curious George is one that comes to mind. And by that, I mean awkwardly sitting in the kids section at the dentist's. Wee.
That's kind of an exaggeration, Dave. So, who else could they belong to? Who's Emilio? Surely they all miss each other. But they're too proud to admit it. Typical boys. Such a foolish species.